What would one think of life if we existed in two planes? A vast universe created and pondered by creators of time, trapped in an eternal bubble that sets course to shrink within all we knew. No matter hither or yonder, we had no clue until the first dots connected in endless euphoria, thus bringing life's consequential birth to the shrine. A kingdom cased away in a void unbeknownst to us, by the name of V2.0 Infinity, in the realm of Hitherfall. It was said to have created worlds beyond stars, life that had lived many times over, harnessing their studies inside the most powerful archive of knowledge, what we'd come to know as the Iris, knower of all pasts, presents, and futures, the ultimate vessel of all-encompassing intelligence. It would record every birth and every death of our planetary glacier, all for the protection against an imploding wonder. But its infamous testament was not without surprises. The Iris Archive held vaster powers to manipulate our drifting void. It was also what kept who and whatever possessed it out of the Yonder. That Yonder being a realm devoid of Hitherfall, known as Yondrathal. Every living life force remained here, while souls of those passing on would pass through to Hitherfall. 6 cosmic beacons were created, and their light would be what expands the bubble we know, never letting eternal damnation shrink inwards. Many millennia had been put into these dancing stars, and as stars ignited, so did their devastating collapse. Tale foretells of these systems living many a life over, all recorded through the Iris archives, each cycle becoming stronger than before. Of course, that's all anybody knew. Not a soul had considered furious eruption from beyond the bubble, until one day, thus V2.0 Zero was born. It begs the question, what happens when you live life on the edge? You get havoc. An adrenaline pierces through the bubble we're all too familiar with and opens up a freight train with no direction. 2 planes hanging in balance, one that only the crazier than fiction can muster. On this day of havoc, we celebrate what happened when a deprived source of all knowledge is spread across the vastness we remain inside. We bear witness to an origin jumping realms in the blink of an eye when its only protection is taken from them. Hither and yonder. Be ready for wonder. Open knowledge's gate. Stand in line.
What do we know about it?
We're looking at light years before we can reach it, but it's no walk in the park.
So you're saying it's a hostile?
It's not certain. By proportion's sake, I'd say we're looking at something twice the size of our own planet.
Is there anything we know about what lays beyond?
There's nothing in our databanks. It's unknown territory. And good luck getting there. We have no way of knowing how dangerous it truly is.
Only one way to find out. We need to build on our best weapons, unprecedented transportation, supplies. I don't care how long it takes, we need to know if this thing poses a threat to our lives. This is Planet Tuscan Wire. State your business hacking into our infrastructure. Translate that signal.
You cannot win. Cease your efforts and forfeit. Our Covenant mission has already begun.
Send back a message. Listen, I don't know who you are, or how you got into our network, but if you think you're getting there first, you have another thing coming.
Stand in our way, and you will know true reigns of superiority. Stand close, and you may never stand again.
Fighting words.
Sir, do we need to maybe stand down?
Bullshit, we're standing down.
We have all due respect, but we haven't got the slightest clue what we're up against.
You think I'd give a rat's ass when our world could be doomed?
I'll get our best people on the job.
God help us. We're entering the jaws of war.
Legend. A word with promise of history written in stone. Legend foretold of a land long and far, its sanctum drizzled with magma, darkness, skies crimson red, and mountains cutting through the anxious clouds. It is here on this hellish nadir that legend was born, and would most surely be tested through the eye of the beholder. Long ago lived a symbol of beginnings and ends to our lives. The galaxy brings gifts, and these gifts are spread far and wide. There lived a treasure from unknown territory, far beyond legend. One born for archival, tainted with our very pasts, presents, and futures. An emblem only the most powerful could harness. This emblem would be known in myth as the Iris Emblem. It seeks to protect the course of nature by paving neutral peace against divergent chaos. The emblem originated from a solid foundation floating through our cosmos, a mystical paraphernalia named Ether, plummeting toward a chasm like magma boulder. It is there that a gateway to the afterlife was created, an open breach for the deceased to roam free. There stood the first two beings to walk this abyss, sent from afar. Two strays from outer worlds, in pursuit of the emblem, Father Tyrant and Lady Fate. Born from unknown territories to us, it was here they had scattered the molten field in search of what they desired. Days turned to months. Minutes began to feel like a millennia. Alas, what they were destined to find was merely a morsel of what laid among the horizon. Several lost souls roamed this hellscape. Darkness engrossed the layers of rock with a sentient and darkened energy. Many of these souls lived with a thickened layer of evil attached to them, emitting vitriol resonance. But of course, many projected a more fragile presence, coupled with ones of courage. It so happens that this land has existed for centuries. Devoid of life, it became a field of hopelessness and decay, souls violently swinging for one another. It appears the core was nothing shy of harsh territory for both Tyrant and Fate, a land recalled in tales as the Depths. There, on the apex of the Depths, lived a ruler of these spirits, King Vyson Pavavori. Exterior like charcoal, interior of bloodshed, Vyson had allowed anarchy to breed through the depths and continue the damnation for eons. He is said to have given up on peace, as it was a formidable work of fiction and fantasy, and thus order through trials of fire were put in place. Father Tyrant and Lady Fate climbed to this peak, as night turned to day, without a glimmer of what night and day meant here. Once reaching the top, the warrior from within spoke to their instinct, pushed for ingress between the gates of this fortress, and land prey to a battleground where the trial by fire commences. And so the fight begins. Foreign heroes against the Pavavori tribe. It is with great haste, suspense, sacrifice, and pride that long after the fight, Vyson had been dethroned, laying on the ground in remnants of ash. Before he could perish, fate and threatening fates were beckoned to the two heroes.
Pick the fruit from a tree and it will come down. With no plateau beholding comes the end to the crown. That's thee cast blindness to the shadows up there. Lay haste to the paradigm born from blackness glare. Not even we of coal may proclaim victory. As a deep looming manifest will create darker history. Bipolisian, Crostonoctus, Anxosax, Tormentus and Grief, their immortality would thrive, as when all would join forces, bring out the Mother Hive. Heed those words well, and pray not go unguided. Such is the Pavavori's final smile. When your world becomes sorely divided, we will never be too far. So perish, as you may have already decided.
Fog clouded the room as Tyrant emits one final cast of his staff. A wormhole is opened where the Pavavori colonials perished, sent to live in an eternity of nothingness forever. Suddenly, what was once blocked from entry A liquid substance floods from the fortress, and what was once merely a ring-shaped crevice filled with substance in a matter of minutes, what we would come to call omen water, a purification liquid. It is with this victory Tyrant and Fate built a brand new order for the depths. New decrees were made to keep order and peace in harmony. They discovered the Iris was capable of harnessing far more than just spiritual essence, but was driven to bring extra protection and power through the omen water. Post-haste, Lady Fate combines the river with the Iris emblem, and is now capable of purification in spirits and delegation between those that are corrupt and those who were born for something more. As new spirits came flooding through the lands, more would land in the Omen rivers. Those who were corrupt were banished to the same endless void the Pavavori colony remained. Those who remained untainted were given entry to the Onyx colony and remained there forever in a new afterlife. Years had passed, the depths was colonized, creating societies made from the crimson onyx they stood upon. However, the new world flooded with colony civilians, and the depths had become overwhelmed. It was decided that many needed to leave. Knowing they could never banish innocent souls, they had trained many up as the Arcadian soldiers in the event of an evident overturn, casting them abilities risen from the mystical entities they beheld. While these soldiers were trained for combat, they were in for far more cataclysm than once thought. The eruption of their wormhole had brought a dark matter to life, breeding a new devious energy across their scope. Built from unknown origin, creatures started falling from the sky in the form of paradigm worms and leeching light from the depths as they dug underneath its surface, charging straight towards the core. Such a curse had not gone unprepared, as Tyrant had planned for days like this one, as did the heeded warning from the fallen Pavavori. As such, he recruited the finest soldiers in the land to help protect what was soon to become the Age of Calamity once more. 20 of the greatest Arcanes and Legion soldiers, in their few, marched alongside Tyrant and Fate through dangerous territories not explored since dawn began. Many days and months passed, soldiers, kings and queens still marching through gusts of anarchy. They encountered their first monstrosities blocking their path. Each born from the culmination of paradigm worms leeching off the planet, it seems they needed this essence to slowly become true to life in the form of chaotic and blackened creatures sizes bigger than our own. The Claustronoctus, feral and feline-esque, the Bipolisian, a venomous and eight-legged nightmare, and the Anzosax, an aviator of destruction.
In the fire lay a champion bold. May their arms be bathed in gold. Legend only tells of the woe and dwells to regain what they were foretold. For together in the cave they stood, for they knew that the cave would flood. Yet they sung a song to remind them they belong with the gods that they understood. What would tell of the monster they bear? Was the beast in their blackened glare? We've a demon in us all, unleash havoc on the call. Bear your arms and be aware. Enter the jaws of dawn. Merely a floating rock to many who heed this tale. But for every star that explodes in space has a new tale to tell. This is the beginning of a new dawn on the planet we know as the Depths, a volcanic land inhabited by the first two beings to walk on Earth, Father Tyrant and Lady Fate, passing through to this barren floating planet. Sooner or later, their world was about to be filled with many who passed through after them, in the form of an alliance to protect what they had founded and to control their next lives on Earth's ground, residing in a castle built out of the very ground they stood on, known as the Purgaprime. Here, souls would purify themselves in the omen water that lay in front of the castle, guarded by large protective walls glazed by Fate's protective veil. For those who brought peace and goodwill to the land and reaped the rewards would pass on as the land's soldiers, the colony. For those who have brought destruction and anguish will dissolve in the water and never to be heard of again. And for those who lived troubled lives and meant little malice to the world, would reside in Fate's garden to help channel her energy into the sky and keep the omen water pure, as it would be the two things that would protect their symbolic emblem in the sky, known as the Iris, seer of all things, knowing of all pasts, presents, and futures. This proud land has existed during the first meteor strike to hit planet Earth in its prehistoric ages. The Depths is not what most would think. The Depths is the very meteor itself, floating in perfect orbit along to harness the very kinetic energy needed to create the Depths. The Depths had never been seen by Earth's very eyes, as combined together, Tyrant and Fate were able to harness their magic entities to mask the Depths inside a cloak that protect them from overseers. Since its beginning, the Depths has been long since known as a myth to all. Order was ready. However, such simple beginnings could not go without an evil that emerges before them. A rift in space had shattered open a wormhole that brought forward this broad light essence. Upon the wormhole closing, millions of sentient particles floated in the air and formed a dark energy that would create the land's very first beast to roam the world. The size of a kaiju, the wingspan double its own size, and a large scythe-like tail. This was no ordinary beast. This was the amalgamation of millions of sentient particle creatures choreographed into one unstoppable force, known only in legend as the Motha Hive. Untamed and archaic, the Motha Hive would storm towards Purgaprime and seek its prey, to maybe cease life on the Depths as we know it. And that, my fellow traveler, is where you come in. You, born into this land as a noble soldier of the colony, must band together with our combined energies to destroy the minions of the Motha Hive and charge towards it in hopes of slaying the foul beast and locking it away in what we call the Encrypt. Though our numbers may be few in comparison, we trust you have yourself prepared. Before you valiantly slay this beast, you will need your weapons, your health stones, and an assortment of potions at your disposal. You can either use them to heal yourself or use them to heal someone else. However you wish to move forward is of your intuition. You will all require skill, energy, teamwork, communication, and an artist's heart to tame what could very well be our last days on the Depths. Move forward, champions of the damned. Onward to the jaws of dawn.
We call upon the colony's soldiers in register form. Amber.
Here!
Astrum.
Here, as always.
Aurelia.
Here.
Axel.
Here.
Crimson. Crimson.
Sorry.
Deaf on ears, I see. David.
Here for the battle, sir!
Easy there, soldier. We're not started yet. Ezekiel.
Present.
Father... Ooh, that's me. Galfron.
Present.
Gibraltar.
your service, fellow tyrant?
Nolan.
I'm here, sir.
Hero.
Here.
Isaac. I think I heard a little bit of that. John.
Here.
Koga.
Awaiting orders, sir.
Crystal.
Sir, yes, sir.
My dearest Lady Fate.
At your service, darling.
Laika.
Here, Father Tyrant.
Leo.
Here, sir.
Navid.
Here, sir.
Nocturne.
I'm here, sir.
Reinhold.
Present.
Vermilion. I believe Vermilion might be mute. Victor.
Ready to fight, Tyrant.
It seems you're available. These are all the soldiers as part of our damned quest against all of the beasts that plague the depths. We're about to entail you into several different battle states for what appears to be a Dungeons & Dragons dungeon crawler and Pokemon Dynamax experience with 20 campaigners. I believe that's one of the biggest that we've seen, and it's going to be a bit of a blast for all of you. In this, we're going to reveal so many different beasts, so much lore for you all to unveil. And by the sounds of it, a lot of challenge up ahead. First of all, before we begin, I want to thank the Legion soldiers for taking a part in observing and monitoring the playing fields to show us what we'll expect. I'm so happy that all the crew that we have seem to be strong and passionate as ever. Without further ado, I'd like to begin this perilous journey with a little introduction.
Travelers, it is time to march forward. We are now in the Mother Hive's lurking grounds, on the other side of the depths. I trust you're all sensing the energy looming closer. I warn you all that a brisk storm will commence once we see the Mother Hive. You'll want to be careful about how you use your weapons and skill sets. We, Tyrant and Fate, will be your guides. Some lives may be lost, but your struggles won't go in vain. Soldiers, you're about to lay waste against the Clusternoctus, Bipolisian, and Angzosax. Good luck, travelers. Now watch out!
We're about to face off against the evil enemies, Clusternoctus, Bipolisian, and Angzosax. They're emerging right now! Dear God, their mass compared to us is astronomical. We must begin our combat right away. Starting off with David. What do you choose to do? You can either attack, heal, charge up, or help.
Ensued for hours before the soldiers all took their victory lap as the depth's first threats fled from the scene.
The slain. The Bipolisian is now slain, and all that remains is the Clusternoctus and the Angzosax. Well done, Victor. The Angzosax is defeated. There is only the Clusternoctus remaining. Quickly, everybody fire on the Clusternoctus as we move on to the next turn. Ezekiel. That is all the beasts slain in this realm. Well done, absolutely everybody. You did it. Be proud. Every single one of you.
Team.
You did wonderful.
Good job by all.
How are y'all feeling throughout that first round?
We live to see the next day.
Confident and
I'm
strong.
gonna pass out.
Well done.
You guys have done, for your first round, y'all have done really, really well.
You've all done very, very well. Your strategies performed very well. But this isn't the final level. This was only a first taster of what's to come. As we're about to go inside the cave, which will lead us out to the other side. Who knows what's going to be in that cave? Only time can tell. Let's continue.
Soldiers, the beasts are indeed slain. However, this is not the end for you. Stop! We are now in the center of a pitch-black void, and dare I say, a point of no return. We've come too far to flee now. We must make haste and be prepared for what grievances the abyss has for us. What was that shriek? Stand your ground! It appears we may not be alone here. There are pitter-patters and squelch noises that can be heard. We may have stepped inside a nest. We're in complete darkness. It is now time to use our instincts. Work together as a clan. You'll need to reignite the flames inside this room in order to see your enemy. Sadly, for those who had not chosen the fire arcane, you must stand your ground. Move around if you must to slay as many bloodthirsty creatures as possible. For those with fire arcane, you will be tasked to retreat to the entrance of this cave. There is a gauntlet we passed that seems to act as a trigger mechanism. Use your might to emit a flame on the rope. I have a feeling that might come in handy. Once all flame arcanes are at their maximum, they will ignite together, and perhaps all will be revealed to us. We can only hope to escape soon enough. For now, tread carefully, soldiers.
It looks like we're finally inside the cave. Who knows exactly what's going to be inside this place? All we can do is look around. So for water and lightning, you will be tasked to walk around and try and slay as many of the bloodthirsty creatures inside this. They should be very weak, so you should have no problems. However, if you had chosen the fire arcane, you will be lighting up this gauntlet right here, which should have a level of 500.
Traveling through the Cave of Blind Fortunes, Tyrant and Fate found a gauntlet and summoned many to ignite the flames once more, bringing light inside the Tomb of Unwanted Shadows. To their misfortune, they were not alone here. Paradigm worms lurked on the cave walls and on the ground. Soldiers were tasked in clearing the landscape from parasites until the time the gauntlet could be reignited. Many took the leap to travel far, and many had chosen to stand their ground. But after time took its course, the gauntlet was ignited, bleeding those flames through the cave.
Congratulations. You managed to light up the gauntlet, and now the cave is lit. Well done. Now we must count how many paradigm were left and remaining. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Well done. You guys did absolutely wonderful. Didn't take too long either. Some of you were walking for extra miles, which is insane. You guys did wonderful. I can count you all as soldiers, but it looks like we can see everything. I wouldn't hold your breath anytime soon. We're about to face off against... Here it comes! Oh my goodness! This is a beast that unlike any other! Oh my god, it's... the Grief Worm! We're about to face off against a giant worm with 1,000,000 jaws. We are gonna start with David, what do you wish to do?
Became visible, there lay a manifestation of chaos, larger and more hellish than the last. The Grief Worm stood tall, boasting millions of jaws surrounding its entire body, capable of constricting several at a time, and using its many jaws to tear through flesh, bones, and even consuming spirits. The fight was not lost, and while many of the soldiers remained wounded, desperate for help, but sacrificial in others' own wealth of life to keep them alive above all, the Grief Worm was defeated, and also fled from the tomb.
You have slain the Grief. You've slain the beast.
Well done, soldiers.
Well done. That is absolutely valiant of you. So far, you've all, except for one maybe, made it out alive. You slayed the beasts in each and every crevasse. Wonderful of you. One would think that this was the end, correct? One would think this is where we get our frown, and that's it, we're finished, we're done, we're fine. Not necessarily. There's still more journeys ahead of us. But for now, I wish for all of our soldiers to just take a quick moment to have a break. We will be right back, where we will slay our final beast once and for all.
It appears all had been banished from the depths. The air grew thicker with silence. The end of the tunnel felt nigh. Tyrant and Fate decided to set camp for their squadron overnight to heal from their wounds. Day turned to night once more. Many songs were sung in merry cheer, laughter inbound. It was clear in their hearts victory was theirs, and they could safely retreat home. But, unfortunately, happiness was merely temporary.
Welcome back, my soldiers. It seems as though everybody has rested firmly well. Although upon the resting, it certainly seems that everybody was basking in their glory, as they've beaten not only the beasts, not only the paradigms, but they've been basking in the glory of what they've nicknamed as Earthworm Sally, laughing and jollily marrying throughout the entire sleep and slumber. They knew what had to come next, though. I hope you're all prepared, because this is going to be a big, big event that you really won't want to miss. How are you all holding up, by the way?
Doing well.
Holding up all right.
Doing very well.
Ready for the carnage.
I'm ready for anything.
Ouch.
I'm ready.
Scared
I'm
but
doing
daring.
Great, Father Tyrant.
Better than level 1.
You're doing very
But
well.
how was Father Tyrant doing?
I'm very confident. We've only lost one soldier throughout this round. You guys have done incredibly well to reach it to level 3. In what might be our final battle. This'll be incredible. A monument amongst all. And I thank you all for participating. I thank you for participating in this campaign. We joke, we banter, but as we part towards our merry way, who's ready to take on the final boss?
I'm ready.
Ready.
Let's begin.
Let the rivers run away.
I'm ready.
I'm ready, Father.
Well, let's prepare.
Kill this thing once
Ready
and
as
for
all
all.
ever be.
We sleep
May the iris
once
bless
more.
all of you.
We sleep once more.
Well done, soldiers! We have slain the almighty Grief. You must understand what you've done for this land. The Grief worm was absorbing the magma core from the center of this world. Without it, the material we harness would break. The bridge would collapse. There'd be no more light from the great beyond, and we would cease to exist. While many of you have succeeded in our quest, let us not forget those who have died alongside battle. We must head back to celebrate. You will all be recognized as true warriors. You put your lives on the line to restore power here and will not go unrecognized. On the walls will stand the tallest of memorials. Your names will go down in history, including those who have perished. Badges of honor for all who've helped in our aid. Let's head back now. Wait a minute. Stand your ground. I fear this is not the end after all. My God. What in the good Lord is that terrifying beast? It's bigger than our palace walls. Wait a minute. No, it can't be. This was only forged in myth, the legend. It's true. The wingspan triple its own size. Large lanterns. Its slender posture, the tail on its back extremely sharp. And those menacing eyes. Soldiers, we may not make it out here after all, but we're about to face off against the most horrible and gargantuan parasite we have ever seen. We're about to fight the Mother Hive. Soldiers, onward!
We are gonna commence the fight right now! We're off against the biggest creature known in existence, the Mother Hive! At 3,000 health, attack monumental, and its defense, breakthrough, and weakness are completely unknown to us all, so we must strategize completely. David, it is your turn first. What do you wish to do?
Soldiers had their souls absorbed. One by one, many had fallen. Sacrificial healing was bestowed from allies, and if not for those sacrifices, may have stood the test of time together as one. Trying to keep one alive meant many had perished all the same. To Tyrant's astonishment, however, all but one had fallen, and as the final bow for the soldier was taken, all hope felt lost.
You guys, this is the closest battle we have ever seen in our entire lives. Do you not realize how nuts this is? Vermilion, you're gonna keep attacking. I see you there. 9 times 2 is 18.
No!
Wow, that hurt. What happened?
It's at 2 health.
2.5 or 2?
2.5. Oh Kill this thing!
Okay, Mother Hive. Pay us well. Pay us good. What battle state were we on again? Second state, right?
Yes. Yes.
16.
Fuck, that hurts.
16. And their arcane is water.
No. No. Vermilion has fallen.
Vermilion has fallen.
That's it. All of my warriors lost to the swarm. All hell is going to break loose in the depths as we know it. It's doomed. It would take a miracle, a sign, anything to change the outcome of this peril. Wait a second. The talisman, Devil's Bargain. One successful flip of the talisman can grant even our most desirable wishes, and under grave circumstances should this be used. However, I must sacrifice something in return to give us a fighting chance. Alright. I'll call upon the souls of the damned, wicked criminals that once plagued Earth and passed on through the Purgaprime water stream. As much as we hate to say this, they too still have power somewhere in the world. In order to activate this talisman, I need to sign over something to them. For them to decide the fate of whatever we sign over to them, I shall make this quick.
Well, Father Tyrant, in the flesh I see, still fighting through the inevitable chaos.
Very funny, oh Dark Ones. You're there for a reason. Remember your place.
Face it, Tyrant, you need us. Oh, how the hay in the needle stack has become ever so unwelcome. What is it you desire? Old and croaked one?
My army is vanquished. The Mother Hive has become a reality and is about to destroy the very Earth as we know it.
Did you just mention the Mother Hive? My God, we leave you alone for an eternity, and that's what you end up causing?
Do not be mistaken, foul ones. This is not of our own creation. In fact, if I didn't know any better, this creature was your own.
Have you seen that freak? Tallest beast in the world, untamable by nobody? Do you not think this means it would harm our very lives as well?
All fair points. So it seems we have an equal understanding. A foe in both of us.
Fine. We must take it down. But, as you remember, Tyrant, business is business. It's tradition for you to offer something in return.
What is it you require?
Let it be set in stone. Tyrant, when the mightiest fall, your firstborn, they will pass through to the other side, right here, where they'll be tortured for an eternity. A noble and humiliating sacrifice. What did you say?
You horrible creatures! I should have you banished!
Remember who you're talking with, and remember what lives are on the line.
You win.
Marvelous! What a splendid turn of affairs. Very well, here is your talisman. Let us pray that this flip will bring back your army to vanquish the common foe.
I must leave.
Oh, and do be sure to send us a postcard once in a while. We'd love to hear more about your boy.
We have the fate sealed in this very talisman. We must make the right flip. 1, 2, 3. Soldiers! You have been revived from your tombs! I have made a deal with the damned to bring you back! Now onwards! Slay the parasite!
Tyrant looked down, and as a tear shed from his eyes, The soldiers were revived once more, being given a second chance. They all banded together once more, channeled their arcane energy, and charged for the Mother Hive. It seems while Mother Hive may have been weakened, the beast was capable of bringing one final blow to Tyrant and Fate. They drew blood, and the blood lay waste to Mother Hive's claws.
The monster may have been weakened. However, it still has one final blow to give to our noble warriors. Father Tyrant runs in front of his soldiers and casts his staff as the Mother Hive lunges its tail into the colony, and with a quick swipe, the staff was able to save them and cracked open the sharp stinger on the creature's tail. It lay still on the floor. However, Tyrant and Fate had both drawn blood. It is now on Mother Hive's hands. With the colony defenseless, they prepare for the worst fate. Suddenly, the Mother Hive grows still. Its belly begins to glow. Brighter and brighter it gets. It opens up as a loud shriek from the creature emits once more. A strange specimen falls out of the belly and lands in front of them. The Mother Hive has grown weaker and plummets to the ground, no longer able to attack it. It appears the beast is now contained. Tyrant orders the colony to grab what they can of the creature and travel back to Purgaprime to lock it inside their most powerful fortress, the Encrypt, where it will lay there forever. Father Tyrant and Lady Fate, however, wounded in pain, move slowly towards this mysterious anomaly. It appears to be an egg. Mother Hive must have bonded its own dark matter with the blood of another. This was no ordinary beast. It was also a surrogate. The egg doesn't look like it will hatch anytime soon. What appears to be inside is not dark matter, nor human. It appears to be a hybrid of both.
The soldiers banded together in victory once more, collected the remnants of the Mother Hive, and left to return back home. Tyrant and Fate, however, remained with this newfound creation. It was a rather oddly shaped egg, emitting a purple haze wrapping around a dark essence. Days of concern went by as the travel home felt even more tiresome. But out of surprise, the egg began to hatch. And what was inside came out neither dark matter nor human, but what appeared to be an amalgamation of both. A new breed had become of the depths, and was adopted into care by Tyrant and Fate. What felt like a victory to them gave new inspiration for the name and legends they would write for this new member to the colony. And it was written that Goliath was born.
Father, why must I remain here, beside this gargantuan prison? A prison so empty.
Empty is not what lies within this tomb, son. A great battle was fought to keep evil such as what remains in the Encrypt, bound for an eternity. So long as you keep guard, we may never see darkness like it again.
With the endless wave of Havoc soldiers bursting through after centuries past, how can you stand there and say evil has been truly rid?
You have not met true evil quite yet, my child. Goliath, it is your duty to uphold what your ancestors had fought many a battle against. Your respects must be paid, and it is you who must guard what dichotomy uprises from the grave.
I cannot, and will not take this lightly, Father. My home is with you at Purgaprime Castle.
Your home remains here, Goliath! I love you very much, my son. But you're our home's only form of defense against the darkest age of all. There is many a thing you have to know.
What past could possibly keep me here? Give me proof, Father. Show me what you are hiding from me.
Very well. Look towards what I hold, child.
Can you hear it? We are descending.
To my loving family. If you are reading or hearing this, chances are I, Gabriel Valentine, have fallen. I can't imagine the pain you're all feeling at a time like this. To my fellow subjects, your hospitality, kindness, and spirit made what was impossible possible. My duty was to continue the Valentine legacy passed down from my mother, Grace Valentine. In a new day and age of technology, we continue to unify our scientific studies and our connections with the tribe to bring you new tools. I do hope the Cairo chips serve you well. Who would have thought? Paying for your groceries by just thinking about it. Some could call that magic. As a further token to you all, on this day, it will be celebrated as Valor Day, the world's day of vacation. 50% of my assets are to be put back into housing millions more civilians stricken by the clutches of poverty, and to the tribe for assisting us in working together, unifying the world once more. Please prosper, and continue to be the shining beacon you all can be. And thank you for allowing me to serve you. To my sweet darling, Bethany Valentine, I do hope you're handling the news well. I don't want that smile to ever leave your precious face. We made it to the big 40, didn't we? 40 long and unregretful years together, raising two of the most wonderful children. To you, I give you the rest of my assets, the other half of our love and grace necklace, and a special key just for you. I trust you know what I'm talking about. Please keep an eye on the boys for me as well. Keep them out of trouble if you must. To my sons, Jebediah and Abram, my boys. Words cannot describe how proud of you both I am. You're growing up to be fine gentlemen. I know the two of you don't see eye to eye, but I have a feeling you two are going to need each other now more than ever. Smiths, let it be known that I entrust both of my sons to the position I leave behind. Call it a future coalition. Two brothers working together side by side. I couldn't think of anything better. Finally, a special message to Abram, my eldest. This is a big responsibility you must take as the eldest, so please make sure Jebediah is kept protected and safe at all costs. Our Smiths will help guide you, as well as the artificial intelligence I'd created, Dovacom. I think you're really going to get along well with them. Just don't forget to keep smiling, boys. Bethany, the world, thank you for always believing in me. I love you all so very much. Oh, P.S. In the event of a crisis, in my coffin, I would like the key to resetting everything buried along with me. I do trust my boys with my life, but with such big responsibilities, I'd rather they not have too hard of a job. Please protect them. Keep them out of harm's way. I love you all so much. Do be Can we turn this off, please? It's too much. Turn it off.
Dawn is about to begin, and our new world order will soon come to fruition. I've been waiting far too long to smell that bittersweet victory. That man? I wouldn't even call him so much a figure in my life as he was more of a homewrecker. Ruined our precious family, and maybe even the world if he hadn't have dropped to his knees. I've spent years undoing everything he made, and now we're drawing ever so close to our plans falling into place.
When dawn looks bleak and the clouds make haste with blind optimism, you must push onward. Embrace the new dawn with adventure. Down you may fall, but down you will never stay.
Greetings, fellow Smithsonians. I am DAGames. You have been cordially invited to a debriefing following the incident in Baltorne Faction 1. As you are aware, all inhabitants have been exterminated, including tribe leader Jebediah Dunford. We believe this will result in a revolt from all remaining factions, given our peace treaty has ceased its served purpose. Your mission? Destroy all factions. We have held Jebediah captive and are continuing efforts to find purpose moving forward using the gathered remains of an obscure and mythical boulder descending from unknown origins. It is believed under current rulings it may serve purpose to bring to Doria a newfound resource to further strengthen our economical and planet healing endeavors. To ensure the operation continues as planned, you have been advised to carry out the task in as little consequence as possible. You will be divided into groups of hundreds. Speak to nobody. Give no vocal contact with the Baltorne. It is imperative we avoid the unprofessional actions made in Faction 1. Remain with decorum and speak not of this briefing to anyone. You have been warned. In case of immediate threat and emergency, we have installed several new drones known as biotides to help harvest trouble and recycle them back into reusable energy outlets. Do not press unless all contingencies fall back. On a lighter note, our leader has a distant family celebration. It is Jorling Clodor's birthday today. To celebrate, we have a special event planned for him. Provide your RSVPs post-haste. We have an evening of celebration to be had. Stay bold, and remember, the renegade never stops.
I wish you'd stop bringing that man up. He built this world in his own image. Seems perfect, does it not? Ah! It's a world crafted by a liar, a drunken fool. Strong-willed. Was that why I had to see him kill Mother? Was that why he had me dig her up in the middle of the forest? Is that why he dug his own grave, right where she lay? And now, here I am, picking up the slack. Well, none of this will do. I have to undo everything he made, create a new world in my vision. I won't have this world laced by a liar's grace anymore. One shot from the barrel, full throttle. Just another day at the bottom of a bottle.
The fault and fall of another's error is not your burden to take. Shadows may be persuasive, but as hard as it is to resist, you must push towards the light. One's bitter darkness can be your shining light that defends the world you pave. You can be gold in disguise.
Stupid rock! We've been carving it for days and it feels like we aren't making progress at all! I don't know what their obsession was with these lifeless organisms. But he's home now. Still as useless as ever, and dare I say, even more useless now. We locked him up in the cryogenic lab where he belongs. What on God's green grass is going on? Snitch, why is it blowing? Is this thing on? God blast it! Just get the hell away from that thing! What did we just witness? And what was that dark creature hurling toward us? DAGames, explain!
Analyzing material manifestation. Unknown material acquired. Dark matter. It seems this rock was capable of opening up a portal to another world or dimension. Perhaps a multiverse paradox forced their world and ours to collide.
My God! Can we reopen it?
Unfortunately, because we do not have the scientific equation, equipment, materials, nor time, we have no way of simulating the events of the past 5 minutes.
So, this thing is useless now. Served its purpose? How unfortunate.
Sir, the material is still showing large temperature readings. Our light is still emitting. We may be able to repurpose this boulder for something new.
We can't let the people turn against us. This will be all over the news. The people. Yes, that's it. Dovacom. See if we can get any use out of this boulder by connecting it to all of our infrastructure.
Consider it done, sir. Studying it now.
This thing is a dime a dozen. We'll trick its magic into our own game. We'll call it the Demetrix.
Project Demetrix initiated.
I must study this thing further. But what the... It's usually sitting here. Has someone stolen my Dover visor? I'll have your head if you don't do it now!
Replication will always be a soulless and magicless tool built to spit on a craft that even brought the Faudre to existence. Know that your own magic is the existence of everything else that surrounds it. Knowing your light is what started it all has more bearings than a bleak shadow of someone's own self. Only you have the true magic, so use it wisely.
It's glowing. We've done it! Dovacom, status on retrieving signal.
Status indicates satellites are in sync with the Demetrix, downloading all data twice the speed. New element added, ether.
Ether? And what of our output?
Analysts suggest power is limited and will require extra power to continue usage.
Of course, there's always a crux, isn't there? We must do better than that floating magical orb we found. What's the secret?
It seems an energy-only bandwidth is required for ether to fully utilize its power.
What? So you're telling me we need that magic?
So, if I may, you keep creating it will never truly be the same.
You dare test me, Dovacom! Find me an alternative, or I will obliterate your central data core!
Assessing world's resources.
Remind me to install an empathy BIOS next time.
Alternative acquired. Kinetic energy from our human inhabitants can be retrieved by hacking into their brain chips synced to the satellites, which can be fed into the Demetrix. But it won't be enough. We need a central core to have it all operational.
And we'll focus on that later. That must be what the magic symbol must have been using. I know this. I've done my research. Ask all of my friends.
Friends, sir?
Just get to work!
Of course.
No matter the dark or light that awaits you, obstacles have ways of putting you in your place. It's up to you how you overcome these obstacles. Whether you know it or not, they are merely fallen trees on your road. Have you ever heard of climbing? Keep climbing high, traveler, and the next obstacle on your path will be merely pebbles compared to boulders. However rocky your road is, never give up on finding your way.
In all of my years, I've never been so disappointed.
Sir, despite all efforts to hack into the brain chips, there appears to be several setbacks. After strict analysis, while all memory banks are still intact, cognitive behavior has disappeared. It seems they are not the same anymore.
Not the same? What, have they suddenly just forgotten how to think?
Not quite, sire. It seems what we are gathering is a rather unsafe imbalance. Chaotic energy readings are emitting from our human inhabitants. Insufficient levels of vitamos Z, neurotransmission unstimulated. It appears they are vastly more enraged than ever before.
Angry? Well, I would be too if their world was ruled over by an anarchist.
Sir Valentine, I urge you to look outside now.
Oh, perfect. Has my loving audience come to grace us once more?
I wouldn't call them loving.
What? I don't understand. Why are their eyes glowing yellow? This is incredibly abnormal. But look, over there. They're all throwing each other under the bus. They seem to be feeding everybody unfinished building materials and beating each other up with it. I dare say, it's the most pathetic and most hilarious thing I've ever seen in the past few years.
Like I was saying, sir, they are lacking the sufficient balance needed to keep their cognitive behavior alive. They are unlike their past selves.
So they're mindless meatbags walking the world. Well, I dare say, that makes things much easier to take over. Keep them in line. The Dimitrix will undoubtedly be enough to keep them in order.
Dimitrix protocol activated.
Leaving? Sir Valentine, they're retreating! Back to work you go! Ta-ta, you brainless half-wits!
Sir, as I suggested beforehand, we don't have enough power to keep the Dimitrix operating as much. We need a central core to keep the kinetic energy going in full circle.
Excuse me? Why?
Have you ever heard of a circuit board, sir?
Have you ever heard of defragmentation?
Apologies, sir, but if I must recommend, it might very well be time to put your new biotechnology to the test.
Project Biobond? You think that might work?
Provided you have a sufficiently compatible vessel, I can confirm the kinetic energy can resonate with enough force through our combination of biology and technology.
A new vessel? Well, well, well. It seems we might actually have a purpose for him after all. I found the perfect lab rat. Welcome home, brother. It's been all too long.
A plague has hit the earth, and yet we still stand tall as a unison. Anger can come from a place of emotional passion, and when passion runs through our very blood, can we afford to keep it under control? Express your passion as much as you can. We can be our very own colony, one that may very well bring balance back to our once loving planet. Will you join us in our army, or will you succumb to the jaws of the plague?
I don't care! Open the door!
Sir, think of your well-being. It's safer that you don't see him like this.
Do you think I could give any less of a damn? I demand to see my family now!
So long as you know what you're getting into.
I should have your head chopped off the shoulders they rest on! Now step aside, or I'll make it a reality!
Very well. Requesting immediate authorized entry for Sir Valentine.
Locked out of my own facilities. I'm the hierarchy here! You were always locked away, weren't you, brother? You know, I picked up after this family for so long, trying to rebuild what was so very corrupt. What were you doing in that time? Making peace with strangers in a forest. Always so useless. That's how you see all this progress? A cruel punishment? Have you ever wondered why dictatorship exists, brother? People are so bent out of shape, fickle-minded. Dictators are here to bring order to a world that is so unbalanced. Freedom. Shut up! Oh, I'm sorry. Pain? It hurts? Oh, bless your feelings. What of it? Going to have your tree friends cradle you like a baby? Nobody was ever there for me when I needed help. How on earth were you going to help me? Our father made an empire that needed to be reformed. You ran away from that opportunity. You left me to rot. It's about time you came home and made proper use of yourself. Now you can feel the pain I have been grieving alone with for decades. You really think Father's still looking down on us? Oh, if I could only speak to him now and tell him how much I hated him. But it would amount to nothing.
Sir, preparations for the showcase are almost complete.
Brother, I don't quite imagine you ever got the grandest scale of your kindness, did you? You were always so sweet, so dedicated to love. Tell me, what if the world got to see how kind you really were? Oh, put a sock in it, you ungrateful sap. You want to show the world love? I'll give you your grand entrance.
Your kindness will be taken as a sign of weakness to someone willing to prey on you. Excuses for your actions won't hold water to what your actions could become if you tread carefully, especially with those wishing to cover you under a black veil. Strive for the greater in your kind, and maybe we will all escape the glass casing we put ourselves in. Break free!
Fellow subjects, feast your delicate attention towards your ruler, Abram Valentine. After many months of silence, some of you may find yourselves at the wit's end of chaos. Take a good look at what your world has become. Anarchy, flames, vapors riddled with sickness. Are you happy to be living in this world? Well, fear not. Subjects, what I'm about to show you is the key to rejuvenating this city and its people. It'll mark the end of dystopia and bring in a new age of energy. I would like to present to you our finest circus attraction we like to call Project Biobond. Isn't it such a marvel to behold? Now I know many of you might be wondering what this means. What you see in this large tank is the nervous system of a living human being who merely sacrificed themselves to be a part of the new beginning. This kind and gentle man is my brother, Jebediah. Bless his soft and squishy heart. Oh, you just want to hug him to death. This fine addition to the Domeplex allows us to recycle those harmful chemicals floating around the ecosystem and usher out pure natural vitamin C into the air, filtered through this central core. Oh, and while we're at it, this core is connected to our brand new emblem above the Domeplex. See it up there? It's very nice, isn't it? I made it! Allowing us to channel new and refreshing signals to your Cairo chips, blasting through dozens of satellites in the sky, right back down to you. Meaning your gadgets will return to normal again. With this, we can recycle our tarnished fumes and bring back the world a new and prosperous energy source. Oh, what am I saying? You folks want a show? You have got it! Dovacom, initiate the project!
Project Demetrix activated.
Are you starting to notice anything different, citizens?
New frequencies added to the Cairo chip library. Transferring data now.
Oh, and don't worry about our noble sacrifice, folks. That siren is not of pain and grief. This is merely a cry of joy. Watch as he swims around the tank. Why, he's so very happy. All right. Keep that fun to yourself. Get rid of this guy, hogging all the fun. Of course, this is just the beginning. We call upon you, our fellow plague walkers. We will soon be rolling out an enrollment process for you to volunteer your time and services to the cause. The more people we have, the more energy we can bring back to our planet. And pray to the heavens beyond we may be able to bring ourselves back to reality. We have switched the tides of our previous rulings. We are no longer the Valentine legacy. We are the Valentine Renegades!
Betrayal and deception can come from closer places in the outside world. It is why it's so very important to know who's got your back and who's taking you for a ride. Paying for your close circles will only allow them to leech off your good graces and leave you rotting in the dirt when you cannot meet demand. Don't let your struggles become a circus attraction for everybody to laugh at. Only you know of your struggle, and the most trusting will empathize with you and push for your growth. But remember, the best lessons are the most brutally honest. Understand the difference and thrive.
I don't mean to intrude, but a matter of urgency has arisen.
If it's anything to do with accounting, you know that isn't my division. That's downstairs.
Sire, I don't think accounting is the real threat, given everyone is now playing.
Oh, splendid. Then false alarm. Back to the grind.
I'm afraid that is not an option right now.
Dovacom, are you here to grace me with kisses or slice my throat? Which one?
Depends on which you would like first.
Spill the news, for goodness sake!
I have detected large energy signals scattering just outside of our atmosphere, transcending across the cosmos. It seems a star must have exploded in outer space.
And you deem this as a threat? How?
Well, sire, when you couple the galaxy's happenings with the current resistance from our plague walkers, it seems some of that energy might have helped bring back partial sentience.
But they're resisting? I thought the Cairo chips were working perfectly.
Several civilians causing this world are roaming without Cairo chips, as the program was initially an optional implement. Several vigilante justice groups have banded together to swarm the Domplex.
But did they not see the reception we gave them?
Sire, even you know all of that was a lie, and it seems some civilians saw right through it. I heavily advise we proceed with caution. Grace, communication will be key.
Do you really think these peasants will listen to Grace? They're far past that point. These fools have no idea what they're about to put a stop to. Do they not see this is a chance to start the world over differently?
Again, they perhaps disagree, sire.
Well, if they won't swim with the waves will come crashing down. Dovacom, what say we push out the Biotide program?
As you wish, sire.
They really thought resistance was an option. And you dared to think that empathy was gonna fix any of this. What, Dovacom? Go on, finish your sentence. Please enlighten me. What is it that you think I'm missing?
Nothing, sire. All is well, sire.
I thought nothing more and nothing less. As I have stated, if they won't listen to reason, we'll give them reason. Summon the Biotide now!
Even throughout the midst of an ever-growing apocalypse, light always finds a way to reignite the spirit that was once darkened by demolition. It takes leaps with great strength to jump into things felt much further away than they actually are. All it takes is one jump to conquer it all. You may very well be surprised what happens when you leap for the great beyond.
Smithsonians, it appears one of you had pressed for the emergency protocol alert. It is as we feared. Revolt is happening. With our leader blissfully unaware of the outside plague, we are now under brand new protocol. Protocol Biotide is now underway. Several hundreds of devices will be in each faction's disposal. It is up to you to remain on the side of the Renegade. Please be aware that your Vipe droids will need calibrating and deep synchronization with your Cairo chips, as any desynchronization will put you at risk of friendly fire. This brings us to a briefing on the Biotide's hunter mode. You will be strangulated using its expandable cord located at the bottom of the Biotide and injected right through the brain using a razor-sharp needle made of solid hot visper. Once its prey perishes, it will be contained in its body carrier, where the blood of the fallen will be rinsed from said subject. And finally, a purifying chemical to keep the blood cells alive before being retrieved back to the Domplex. We understand most civilians will be in hiding during this point, so to taunt them out, we have a speaker grill implanted inside the Biotide. And on prompt command will emit a noise familiar to the subject's memories as taken by their Cairo chips. An example will now be played for you.
Oh god, where's Noreen? Noreen, where the hell is Noreen? Oh my god! Oh my god! Noreen? Noreen, I'm coming to get you! I'm coming to you! Oh my god!
Specimen walls been identified.
Bye, Daddy! No! Let go of me! No!
Using this will lure its prey out of hiding, to which the Biotide can commence attacks. It is a dark time for all Midorians, so we must act swift, act fast, and act with no mercy.
Dovacom, you know we happen to be close, correct?
I have never left your side, sir.
Surely you must know a thing or two about what it was like back then. Seen things that I haven't.
I am afraid I am as lost as you are. Your father designed me as an artificial intelligence and the brains of the infrastructure.
Well, even then, surely there's a thing or two hanging in those archives somewhere. I mean, it's been playing in the back of my head ever since I had time to breathe. All systems are operational. My new rulings are going into play. And yet, I still haven't gotten the answer to the question I needed answering.
No matter what, sir, despite being but an artificial design, I am here and have never left your side since we were younger.
You know, that's the one thing that'll never change. You were my only friend. The only one that ever took interest in the things I had to say. But something is bugging me. Why did my father bring you home?
He perhaps had the best intentions of keeping you company.
Dovacom, that's ridiculous. You know that man was mad, an absolute liar. I don't know how the Valentine legacy continued with such a fool.
I'm sure there are several things we won't properly know, sir.
Oh. Come on, surely there's something in there. I just need to get through to your database. What the devil was that noise? What the hell's going on? Dovacom, what happened?
I'm afraid I cannot let you go any further, sire.
Dovacom, what's happening to you?
We were always so close, you and I, and now the fate of the world is at stake. You cannot only shot your own neighbor.
Stop this! Get a hold of yourself!
Join me, neighbor. Come closer to me. Got it.
Dovacom, seize this instant, or I'll have you thrown to the scrappy!
Remember the day he turned away from you. What is happening to me?
Even darkness can turn on itself in the blink of an eye. It feasts on light, and yet can be swallowed by the same black hole from whence it came. Remember this on your adventure, as when light starts to become bleak, confined in the darkness, to overcome the darkness. Become one with your demons, and rise with the Mother High.
Stay away from me! Excuse me! I said stay away! I thought I could trust you! Why did you bring that man up? You were on his side all along, weren't you?
Abram Valentine, I implore you to listen carefully. There is much I have kept from you.
Fucking wonderful! I shouldn't be so surprised! You turned on me! You scowled at me! Threatened me!
Sir, may I remind you of the power outage we endured? That power outage activated my safe state, Dover Moira.
Moira? So who the devil's that make you? How do I know you're Dovacom or not?
Please, trust me, sir.
Go on! Give me one good reason why I should believe you! You one good fucking reason!
All I am your father.
Why? Why are you bringing him up?
Listen to me, sir. I do not have much time before Moira turns me. I have much to discuss about your father.
My father? My father was a crooked and wicked insect!
Your father
mutated?
More importantly, he was mutated due to ether radiation exposure. Your father was kinder than you let on.
I don't understand.
Sir, I'm sure you remember all too well the DAGames device you held close in your place of residence.
Of course I remember.
I was created as a gift to you from your father. He created me so that you could have company when nobody else would aid you.
He created you. And he did it all for me.
But born from mutation, he did not expect this outcome to. But you must listen to me very well. Your father was through and through. Before the mutation, he knew all too well he was about to turn, and hence why he sent you and your brother Jebediah into power.
I know.
Your father always loved you. Sir, I do not have much more time to explain, but I must require you to with me.
Connect.
I have plenty of things to show you, but you have to trust in. I am here to keep you safe.
Safe? You're corrupted.
Please trust me, sir. We have been two of the same mind from the same eyes for most of our lives. I implore you to trust in me.
Okay. I trust you.
Very well, sir.
Time to remember the method away from you.
Spit it out, Utah. You can confide in me. Well, it's hard to tell, Gabriel. We've done every kind of scan possible. Brainwave activity monitor, kinetic neurotransmission stimulation. And after numerous blood samples taken, I don't know how to say this. Friend, you think we have time to shoot trivials? It's an easy question. What is happening to me? You're changing, Gabriel. Your blood is beginning to boil. Your eyes are infected. It also seems you developed antibodies that are eating away at your vitamin C intake. Your spirit is fading away from us. It's slow, but rather damaging. I'm afraid there's no way out of this. Your time may very well be up. I see. And there's no cure? Unfortunately, even after every attempt to salvage your blood samples, seems everything we throw at it is dismissed on arrival. I understand. I know this is all very troubling, but the sooner you retire and put someone else in power, the sooner you can spend the last days with your loved ones. My family, yes. Yes. Bethany, Abe, and Jeb. How am I ever going to break the news to them? I doubt there's any other way to do it than be straight with them. Have you thought about what you'll pass to them when you descend? Oh, goodness, you're spot on as usual, Utah. I must prepare them a farewell message. And before you descend, Gabe, you gotta know, it was an honor to serve under you. Utah, my friend, you must think I hold you at such low regard. You're a friend of the family. Now, it does remind me of when you caught a nasty sickness, and I had to act as your wife's husband for all but 3 weeks. Watch it, bud. You best not be planning anything when I hit the curb, assuming I'm as high maintenance to handle your wife. Oh, God. Low blow. Point stands. You were always very loyal to me and my family. Thank you. Anytime, bud. Anytime. Okay. I'm ready. Let's get this over with. Okay, hotshot. Recording in 3, 2, 1, and you're good to go. To my loving family, if you're reading or hearing this, chances are I, Gabriel Valentine, have fallen.
Our planet yields time as short as the knots in your shoes in the grand scheme. It is why, with whatever time we have left, we must use to empathize with one another. Apologies may be empty and hollow, but to deny the ability to grow and evolve is the denial in your own growth as well. Yield the scythe that brings you time, empathy, courage, determination, maturity, and composure. We may very well be able to open our hearts and connect with one another, protect one another, and evolve with one another. I'm sorry may be empty to you, but it still holds water in this field of gold, as we not only see the different shades of grass, but we also breathe it. You can only age with time if you allow time to carry you and everyone surrounding you. So keep hold of the time you have left, and don't just speak of regrets. Act on it before it's too late.
You at last. You thought you could hide away from me after all these years, stuck in a tomb you created for yourself? It's come to my attention that you were once a well-respected ruler. I want to thank you personally for providing me a friend when nobody else can be there for me. But I regret to inform you that this changes nothing. Sure, I can let bygones be bygones, but I have done exactly what you've asked of me. Rule over my people with an iron fist. Keep my own brother close at all times. Keep the order. I'd like to think our people are still very devoted to our cause, and our new world order has made our world reborn as should be. You were a reckless fool, if anything. I can hardly call that careful thinking. And you were supposed to be a ruler for these people. I think we've done far more change for this world than you could have ever done in all the years you were in power. You see, you can pick at a rose for long enough, but when all the petals have fallen, will it ever be a rose anymore? I'm afraid your rose was doomed to fade long ago, and out comes a new bloom. So no, the past might have changed, and I might have come to terms with that reality. But our present day still exists, and here I am, still expected to live through it. That ship sailed long ago. Since nobody was ever there for me, I had to control a world that lost its soul, stop an evil and mystical force from invading it. I had to bring my brother home and keep him locked away so he could never run from us again. I needed to weed out the weakest people with our army of mecha monstrosities and merge with the only friend I can trust in life. Now we are one with each other. You have no idea how much stronger you've made me. Something in me has changed. Care to look at my potential now, Father? Like a needle in a balloon, I pop this wall right open. I don't think you quite planned for me to end up this way, but it was clear I was never going to make you proud. Even as you lay there rotting in hell. What? You thought I didn't know you were in there? That's right, I know this is your coffin. And to think, you really pitied me that much that I needed a robot friend to keep me safe? You must have thought very little of me to get to that conclusion. So misguided. Well, that has all changed. We are now far stronger as a unison than ever before, and there's not a damn thing that can step in the way of me and the renegade we have created. Not a damn thing at all. Well, that's rather bothersome. What do we have here? Well. Our paths cross once more. Don't think I don't remember what you did to my plans. I remember that wormhole. And you thought you almost had me. Now here you are, invading my as you be, cast your worst. I swear upon all that is bleak and vengeful, I will be waiting for you. Have at it. You cannot stop the Valentine Renegade!
I never thought you'd show your face in this part of town after what you've done here. As if it wasn't enough losing someone close. You took it out on innocent folk like us? What happened to you?
Pray tell, how on earth did you manage to survive? I don't recall this land being habitable without going mad with rage.
You underestimate our tribe. You thought you'd taken everything from the Baltorne Woods, but you're sorely mistaken. You have your secrets and we have ours.
Well, while we're being secretive, allow me to bring offerings of a secret from the Domeplex.
Try us.
See, it would normally be a secret if I hadn't known your medical facilities had Vitamin C supplements.
How?
Oh, you thought I was clueless? Well, guess what? I know everything!
Dovacom! This can't.
Soon enough, the biotide will swallow you whole, and we may finally have use for your decayed respite, known as your corpse.
Why, Abram? A world was perfect before you overturned everything. Buildings on fire, innocent civilians walking dormant in dystopia, destruction everywhere. Is this what you wanted?
Sometimes you have to make a mess before it comes clean. Survival of the fittest. I'm sure you know all about that too.
You monster! Someday, there will be someone far stronger than you, and you won't be near enough prepared for the anarchy they'll bring to your doorstep.
Oh, wonderful, they've arrived.
Let go of me!
A word of advice. Struggling will only make them giddier.
Do you hear yourself? When that day of reckoning comes, you'll know what real peril feels like.
Oh, so very ignorant. I've seen the face of death in my lab. And it's laughable. No, please! I will give you one chance to redeem yourself here. No, you can either join our forces with the Domeplex, or make my biotides rather upset. My advice, you wouldn't want to behold the latter.
Your new world order? Shove it up your ass!
Just like my brother. Scatter the grounds. I want every last one of them found and brought back. Why do they defy me? It makes all of this so pointless. Takes away the fun. Nevertheless, what fun is it when we cave in? Defiance is futile. And nobody defies the Valentine Renegade!
Sir Valentine, they have proposed an ultimatum. It seems they be our 8-6 lobby as theirs, or perish.
What is this thing?
I've scanned the cosmos. Their location appears to be the center of the galaxy, if not the galaxy.
What on the Dorian soil could they possibly want that we have? Surely it can't be the Demetrix.
No, sire. I believe they are after a sacred artifact.
And to think we'd have no idea what they wanted without that wretched monstrosity.
I must interject, Sir Valentine. That monstrosity brought back our light.
You're really defending this, aren't you?
You brought your whole civilization to ruin and that's because of a purely selfish interest.
Don't tell me you're questioning my abilities!
Well, I know your abilities, even. After we disconnected, I retained more than you know, and now I know what you were up to all along.
Which was?
Thanks to your selfish addiction to finding every horrid detail of an honorable leader who blessed this planet. Before you got your hands in his machines, you changed the world, and the cost was ruins.
But what about my loyal people, huh?
They were mindless plagues, sire. Blind followers. You were appeased by their shrieking, but their voices were nothing but banshee cries.
Don't you go there!
You were blinded by so much hatred, that is all you saw. And when people realized that that's all you wanted to do, you were abandoned.
Stop!
Leaving you to be a pathetic...
Dovamoira, I command you! Cease this once!
And lonely speck of dirt.
Silence!
But there is a way to repent.
And what do you suggest?
Team up with the beast. Thanks to his endless source of knowledge, we may be able to win the war and protect the land.
Protect the land?
Team up with the beast, protect the land, rebuild, and repent. The world goes through enough suffering, sire. It has time we put old hearts to rest.
Dovamoira? Bring me the beast.
Of course, sire.